All right, did you go shopping this past weekend? Have you noticed the prices are going up? It's a Money Monday, and we welcome George Wells, Legacy of America Financial Planning, Auburn Hills. Thank you, George, for being with us.
Thank you, Murray.
Nobody wants to say this word, so we'll say it here because I see it happening all over. Inflation. Nobody is saying inflation is going up, but it is, isn't it?
Well, the true test of inflation, Murray, is how does it affect your bottom line? Because we have expenses that we have to be able to buy gas for our cars, we have to be able to buy food, and the true test is how is it affecting your personal bottom line, and that's what really inflation is to the consumer.
All right, when we talk about the consumer, we'll talk about some consumer products. Companies that are raising their prices include Kellogg, Whirlpool, both of them in Michigan, Hershey, the chocolate company, they're going to charge you more for a kiss. Mattel is raising prices of Barbie because plastic and oil and all the materials are costing more. And last month, the price of imported products rose 1.5%. So over 12 months, we're talking about an 8% inflation rate on imported products, maybe the clothing that you buy. What should we be doing, George, in our homes to be able to afford the higher prices when we're right there walking down the aisle in the shopping?
Well, the key, Murray, is knowing how all of these changes in prices affect you. Because a change in gas prices may not be as big of an effect if you have a car that's highly efficient, or if you don't drive as far to the office or drive as far to your place of employment. So the key is being able to give an account for what it is that you're spending, and a real easy way is just to take account for everything you spend, to write it down. And an easy way, write down the date, what it is that you purchased, and exactly how much it costs. And that way you can monitor your own inflation or your own change in cost of living.
When you talk about your own change in cost of living, it's something that so many people don't realize. For example, I'm reminded of a Michigan State University study came out about 3 or 4 months ago. They found that when we get a raise, when we have more money coming into the house, we rise to the occasion. We spend that money. But when something happens and the income comes down, in general, most people who live in Michigan, this study from Michigan State found, they don't adjust.
And that's right. Consumers are so predictable. You might think that if you have an income problem or if you have a financial problem, if you only earned a little bit more, you would now have excess money and you wouldn't put so much money on credit cards, but that's not true. We behave in predictable patterns. We do the same things over and over and over again. So if you're not taking authority over your finances, if you're not taking charge over your finances, then you become a victim of the process and you minimize the amount of choice that you have.
And last week you sent me an email and you said, here are some trends to watch. Credit card rising, credit card usage is rising, the debt of the American household is rising, and you call it a hidden issue, a hidden impact there.
It's the silent killer of the dollar. Because just a couple of years ago, people started borrowing a lot less. They started using their credit cards a lot less. They started saving more. And now, just in the last couple of months, we're seeing credit cards go up. We're seeing the savings rate go down, and so that money, or those lessons that we learned in the past, are bound to repeat themselves if we don't make some hard and fast choices of what we're going to do with that excess money.
And as you were just saying, the thing to do is to write down and look at trends that you have, and then you can adjust, and then you can maintain a standard of living, but also you can maintain your savings. How important is that people don't even think about it these days, because so many of us are just trying to get from one week to another.
That's right. We're just trying to get to the end of the month or to the end of the week. But just even writing what you're spending down, you can have a good handle on what it is that you're consuming, where your money is going, so you can make deliberate choices. If you're going to stop for a coffee, you know that it costs $1.45. You know that that's money that you can't use for something else. It's those pennies that add up, Murray.
As soon as you use money here, it's got to come from there, or else you get into the situation like the state of Michigan is in, but we're not going to touch that one today. Let's just wrap this up for a moment about the dollar, talking about the dollar. We have dollars in our hands all the time. We see them, we count them, we know there are $2 here, but we don't understand that this $2 is not necessarily what this $2 was a couple of months ago.
That's right. And a few years ago, when you put that $1 in savings and you put that $1 aside, today you need $2 to have the same buying power that it took years ago. And all of that money is represented in your savings accounts, whether it be in your IRAs or your 401ks or your after-tax savings accounts. If things cost more, those dollars go they don't go nearly as far as what they used to. It's taking charge of what you have and knowing where you stand.
And even though they're not mentioning inflation from the top right now, inflation is creeping into our households and household budgets all the time. George Wells, Legacy of America, Auburn Hills, thank you for being with us on this Money Monday. We have a link to his website with more information for you at myfoxdetroit.com. And as we always say, I'll see you tonight on Fox 2 News beginning at 5 with MoneyWorks, more ways to save money, and the Job Shop, because we're always working for you.